Hello YouTube, my name is Hero, and today we're going to be discussing my top 5 tips on getting to level 55. Now, level 55 is not an easy thing to accomplish in this game, but it's not too difficult either. It just takes time, patience, and an understanding of the general mechanics of the game and how to maximize your experience gain. Now, being new to the game, you may not know exactly what to do, and that's why I'm here. I'm going to give you guys 5 tips that will greatly help you increase your experience gain and reach 55 as I and many others have. So let's get right into it. Now, the first thing you want to do when you're trying to get to 55 is to head over to Catfish Camp and go to the marketplace. When you go to the marketplace, all you have to do is go to the food section and buy a fair amount of milk teas. As you can see, milk teas effect, it gives combat EXP increase plus 8% for 90 minutes, and the HP recovery plus 5 for 90 minutes is nice too, but what you really want is the combat EXP increase 8%. That is a very reasonable amount. Now, a lot of people already know about milk tea. It's not a very it's pretty common. But there's another thing a lot of people don't know about, and that's if you go to the Potion and Elixir tab up here. You scroll down and you go to Experience Elixirs. They range in price. They are sometimes 16k, sometimes 18k, sometimes 24k even. But usually they're around 18k or so. But what they do is they give a 10% EXP gain for 5 minutes. And it says right here that the cooldown is 10 minutes. So you would think that you would have to pop one and then wait 10 minutes. Or you have to pop one and then wait 5 minutes before you can use another. But it's actually a 5-minute cooldown, not a 10-minute cooldown. So I don't know why it says that on the screen there, but it's not true. It's really a 5-minute cooldown. So if you have the money for these elixirs, because they can get pretty costly. See, there's 100 here. And if I were to buy 100, it'd be 1.8 mil. So they do get pretty costly, but they do increase your experience by a lot. 10% is a very large amount. And if you always have these on, they will definitely help you get into 55. I use them a lot. Okay. And the last thing is crystals. If you don't know already, there is a crystal that increases your experience by 3%. You get this crystal at the beginning of the game, and a lot of people sell it, but they are very hard to find as they are always not listed, even though there've been almost 6,000 of them sold. Very hard to find, but they give 3% EXP bonus, and you can only put 1 on most helmets. But if you buy a heave helmet, you can put 2 on, so then you'll have 6% additional just from your helmet, which is a lot. Not to mention the coup de grace is a 10% increase from a cash shop set. At the bottom there you see combat EXP gain plus 10%. So you've increased your experience gain by a lot just from things in the game, without even killing a monster, without even taking advantage of certain things during the day, the experience wise things. And those things are, you can buy those at any time, use them at any time. But the things you can't buy at any time and the things you have to wait for would be the extra combat EXP scrolls. They give 50% for 1 hour, which is huge. Very huge. 50% for 1 hour is huge. Now, if you go to the loyalty shop here, we'll see that this scroll is found right here. It gives an additional 50% for an hour, and there are 300 loyalties, so 3 days in order to get one of these. And using one of these is very important, but you should only use it during the perfect peak time. And the perfect peak time I will explain later. It will be in this video, but keep in mind that you do not use these scrolls until the perfect peak time. And as for experience increases, that's all we have right now. Now we're going to move on to location. All right, so we've arrived at our first location, Catfish Camp. Now this place can be a pretty good experience if you're grinding and if you may have already been here to get to level 50 and maybe 51 or 52. This place is pretty safe, pretty easy. They don't do much damage. They give decent XP. They drop a lot of things. It's not a bad idea to grind here. It's just not the best place you can grind. But grinding here is not terrible. I will repeat, it is not terrible. There are still people who grind here even up to the 53s and 54s. But I personally don't recommend it, and I'll show you another place that I would recommend over Catfish. Now we've arrived at Mancha Forest. Now, Mancha Forest is a great place to grind for EXP, skill points, karma. For some reason, this place just gives a lot of everything. And it's very, very reasonably mobbed monsters. One of my favorite places to go is around this way. This place is very good for EXP. If you really want to come here, it's not bad at all. You just have to deal with a lot of people coming to do dailies throughout the day, etc., etc. But it is a good place for EXP, and also you may be able to find an ogre to kill. There are a lot of ogres that spawn around here, and if you're strong enough, you could take one on or 20 on, and in between grinding, you can be potentially getting yourself an ogre ring or something like that. And that's what makes this grind place really good, is because you can get more than just experience. You can get something else to progress your character, a very rare item. That's something you have to keep in mind when it comes to grinding, is not only how much experience you're gaining, but also the potential revenue and gear earnings from grinding. Catfish has little to no potential other than just Kohar silver, and this place has very high potential if you manage to find ogres, but they're all dead right now, but they will be around here. And if you kill them, you have a chance at getting an ogre ring, which is a very, very precious item, sells for a lot, and is used by a lot. It is very, very important. It's an accessory. If you don't know about it, look it up. But speaking of rare items, I'm going to send you to another location that you might want to try out that is good EXP and has a very rare item that can be looted. Okay, so for this next location, I'm going to turn my UI back on, and I'm going to press M because a lot of people don't know about this place. If you look around Calpheon and you look for Catfish, then Mancha Forest, then this place, whatever, you'll see the abandoned monastery. It's right here in between Mancha Forest, Trent, and it's right here. It's around where some of the Trents spawn, the Trent enemies spawn. A lot of people don't know about this location. It is very hard to find. It can be kind of weird getting over here, but I'm going to show you guys how. So if you're coming from Calpheon, you just want to meet this pathway right here. Just simply make a left, and you'll be going through a forest pathing here. The pathing leads you right up to this spot. Now, this spot is not too hard to find. I mean, it's a castle in the middle of the forest. You're gonna find it. But how to get into the abandoned monastery is another question. You simply get off your horse and you go around here, and you're gonna find a well. You might think like, well, it's a well. I mean, nothing to it. But if you go down the well, there's a whole area down here full of monsters to fight. Now, these monsters give reasonably good amount of EXP. They do a decent amount of damage as well, but they give you a very, very rare item. I'm gonna show you that item in a second. All right, they give you a Mark of Shadow. It gets 5 AP and 5 to 5 AP, worth 6.25 million silver. But they do increase when you level them up. For example, if you were to level up, it will go to 7 to 7. If you level up again, it will go to 9 to 9. Very, very good accessory. Mark of Shadows are still being used by Koreans to this day. They are very, very good when you upgrade them. So grinding in the abandoned monastery, which is where I am now, you may not get as fast experience, but you do have a much higher chance of getting this rare item, which in turn will increase your character's level, your character's progression, I should say, while increasing the level, which is very, very, very good to do this place if you really aren't in a rush to hit 55, but you also want to gain something along the way, and still reach 55 at a reasonable amount of time. But there is one more place, and this place is the very best place for grinding, but only for experience, because it doesn't have any really rare items there that you want to get. However, it does give the best experience, the best experience in a short amount of time, and it is the best place to grind if you want to reach 55 as fast as possible. I'm gonna show you guys where that is now. All right, so we've arrived at Trent, and I'm sure you guys have seen Trent before. It's the lumber town where there's a lot of stuff going on here. But a lot of people don't know there is another grind spot that is very, very, very good for EXP, as I stated earlier, and it's over here in this area of the map to the left of Trent. I'm going to head over there now to show you guys what's up. Now, this place is heavily contested by the higher level and higher knowledge knowing guilds of the game. Like, there are a lot of channels you can go to, and you'll just find a whole bunch of a certain guild there that will not allow you to grind in certain locations, regardless of if you ask nicely or not, because they are grinding too, and you're kind of ruining their experience game. So I'm gonna head up there now to show you guys what it's all about and everything like that. Hopefully there's no one there so you guys can see the mob density, but if there is someone there, you can also see what I mean about being careful at this place. This is where the most PvP happens currently on the server, so you have to be careful here. And this place is not for the lighthearted, I'll say that. Now, as you can see, this entire area has been cleared because a whole bunch of people are killing it. This is my guild, so I don't think they're going to PK me, but if it wasn't my guild, I'd be in trouble. I'm gonna go all the way over here to show you guys exactly how dense these mobs can get. Okay, as you can see here, all of these mobs they're just not respawning, but there are a lot of mobs in this area, and all of these mobs give a ton of experience. If you're at 52 and 53, even 53, they give a very good amount, and there are so many of them. So if you get to level 55, or sorry, if you get to level 53 and you get a group of 5, as these guys are doing, you can grind here, and everyone will begin experience. You clear each room and you get a crap ton of XP, and this is the fastest place to level at to 55. Alright, so we've covered the EXP gain potential from the items in the game, and we've also covered the locations of which you can grind at, where you can choose to grind. So now we're going to discuss tips in order to increase the speed of grinding without the use of specific items. The number one tip, obviously, would be to get your gear up. You know, if you're gonna come to the best place, which is Catfish Shrine, as I said before, you're gonna want to have at least a plus 15 weapon and around plus 10 plus for all your armor around there. You're gonna want to get some accessories. If you can't afford the blue accessories, you want to get berries and upgrade it as far as you can to get that attack up. The higher your attack, obviously the faster you're going to level, the faster you're going to get experience. It's very important that you are able to clear monsters efficiently. So getting gear and getting as much gear as you can by doing your dailies and your weeklies is very, very important, and you should prioritize that, doing those until your gear is up to par, to the point where you can clear these guys and not die in the process. Okay, so keeping that in mind is Very, very important. And a good way to increase your gear while grinding is to take what you have gained from leveling, because if you grind, you'll see a lot of drops like Urea weapons and things like that. Take them, don't NPC them, sell them on the market. It might not seem like much, but it will be added up to a lot. So if you sell everything you find that's worth something, if you highlight it, you can see what it's worth, and you sell it on the marketplace, you'll make a lot of money, and you can make a lot on the way leveling. Also, if your inventory becomes full and your storage becomes full in the nearest town, for example, if you're grinding a Calpheon Shrine, the nearest town will be Trent. You can go to the warehouse manager and talk to him and press warehouse and then press transport. You can send an item to your home city, which may be Calpheon. Press Fate Wagon, press send, and that item will be sent on a wagon sort of thing controlled by NPC within 30 to 40 minutes to Calpheon, and all your things will be there, and you can deal with it later without having to sell it on the marketplace immediately while grinding and taking up your grinding time. You can just send it to Calpheon and deal with it later. But keep in mind, you can only send 100 things at one time. You have to go receive those items eventually. Also, if you check your inventory, you may see an item like this, which tells you to trade it into the Western Guard Camp. And as you can see, trading into the Western Guard Camp is further away than Trent, for example, but you will get more money in exchange, a lot more. So it's much more worth it to trade it into the Western Guard Camp rather than it is to trade it into Trent. So when you get items like these, make sure you give them to the NPC that will give you the most money, and stack them up, take a wagon and send them over there. Getting money while leveling is another way to increase your gear, and once you've increased your gear, that will increase your leveling experience a lot. Yeah. Okay, so one thing I want to go over is another tip, which involves the party system. Now, in my previous videos, I stated that the party system is best with 5 people. This is most of the time true, but it also depends on who the 5 people are. If these 5 people are weaker than you, then it's not as good as if they were on your level or stronger than you. So if you have 5 people in a group, that is very, very good for EXP gain. If everyone is on the same page and you are grinding at a place where you cannot clear the entire area by yourself. If you can clear the entire area by yourself before the mobs respawn, then you don't really need a group. But if you can't do that, which you really cannot do at Calpheon Shrine, for example, you need 5 people with you. And 5 people with you will increase your experience gain dramatically. And when you have finally achieved the optimal conditions, which would be a great location that's all yours without having anyone trying to come steal it, 5 people in your group, all your experience increase gain things ready to go. For example, you have the experience elixirs, your cash up set, and your milk tea, as well as the experience from your helmet, and you also have the experience score ready to pop whenever. Those are optimal conditions. And once you've achieved optimal conditions, you want to wait until nighttime. Now, if you've been playing a while, you may notice that at nighttime, you see an experience. You see a pop-up or in red letters that says at nighttime the monsters get stronger, but they give you more experience. It doesn't say how much, but anyone who's grinded for a long time can tell you that it is a huge increase. We're talking at least 20 to 30% increase at least. So what you want to do is you want to wait until nighttime, because you only have a limited amount of experience scrolls. You can't get them until you've played for 3 days and get 300 loyalty. So you want to use them as efficiently as possible, and the most efficient way to use them is during nighttime. If you use these experience scrolls during nighttime, this is optimal conditions, and everyone, and you have a 5-man group at the best place you can grind, then you will get a tremendous amount of EXP. And if you continue to do that and continue to use those experience scrolls during optimal conditions, then you will see 55 before you know it. But yeah, guys, this has just been 5 tips to help you get to 55. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment. Please subscribe. Check out my Twitch, BDO Hero. I stream often. And yeah, guys, this has been Hero. See you next time.